From the short-lived administration of Agui through the 9-year rule of General Yakubu Gowon to the Maradonic administration of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, the military have been in power for so many years in Nigeria. You see, Nigerians had become tired and frustrated with continued military dictatorship and demanded a return to democratic rule. What happened afterwards will shock all lovers of democracy and the entire world. In this video, we explain the speech that landed Abiola in trouble with the military and ultimately led to his incarceration and death. Please stay tuned. Welcome to Hisple Media In-Depth History. It seemed at last that the military was listening when Babangida announced early in 1986 that a civilian government would be formed by 1990. This brought a sigh of relief to Nigerians. However, he would later extend the date by 2 years to allow more time for preparation. He decreed that no politician from the civilian regimes or office-holding military officials could stand as candidate. When campaigns began in 1992, Babangida only allowed 2 political parties, the National Republican Convention (NRC) and the Social Democratic Party (SDP). With his plan to return to democratic rule seeming realistic, Babangida went on to announce dates for the elections. The electoral body was set up with Professor Humphrey Nwosu as the chairman. A series of elections were held to fill all offices at the local and state government levels. Parliamentary elections were held on the 4th of July 1992. What was left was the presidential elections. This will not come cheap at last. After a series of delays, Ibrahim Babangida agreed at last to hold a presidential election on June 12, 1993. Option A4, an open ballot system, was used, and the election was widely believed to have been the freest and fairest election in Nigeria's history till date. But then, the unthinkable happened. The acclaimed winner, Chief MKO Abiola, never tested power. On June 23, 1993, the Babangida administration annulled the election even before official results could be announced. This marks the beginning of Abiola's troubles. Several meetings were held with the military government to actualize Abiola's mandate, but without success. Protests were carried out across the country, but without success as well. Amidst the confusion and mounting pressure, Babangida was then looking for an exit strategy. He announced an interim national government to be headed by Chief Ernest Shonekan. But Abiola never gave up in his effort to reclaim his mandate. More protests were held, and Abiola even appealed to the international community for help, but to no avail. As Shonekan began to enjoy the spoils of office, every appeal for him to hand over power to the rightful winner of June 12 fell on deaf ears. In the midst of this confusion, General Sani Abacha overthrew the Shonekan-led interim national government and installed himself as the new head of state. But Abiola continued with his struggle to reclaim his mandate. At some point in the struggle, Abiola went on exile for safety and to appeal for international support. While on exile, he never gave up the struggle to actualize his mandate. However, to the military and Abacha in particular, the June 12 was a forgotten issue. Abiola returned to Nigeria in a move considered by many to be highly audacious. After one futile year of peacefully trying to reclaim his mandate from the military, he declared himself President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and proclaimed a new government of national unity. In this famous speech, Abiola called the annulment naked political armed robbery and called the soldiers thieves. He called General Sani Abacha a usurper. Abiola also referred to the soldiers as politicians in uniform who are more devious than any civilian would want to be. Because of this speech, Abiola lost his freedom and ultimately lost his life. He was arrested on June 22, 1994 and died in detention 4 years later. although lacking in evidence. His death on July 7, 1998, after 4 years in detention and on a day when he was billed to be released, is believed to have occurred under unnatural circumstances. And of course, if you are enjoying our informative content, please put the like button on this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to on the bell notification so you always be notified when we post new videos. Thank you. Here are the high points of the speech delivered on June 11, 1994 and dubbed the Epetedo Proclamation, having been made in the Epetedo area of Lagos Island. Abiola said, quote, "People of Nigeria, exactly 1 year ago, you turned out in your millions to vote for me, Chief MKO Abiola, as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But politicians in uniform who call themselves soldiers but are more devious than any civilian who want to be, deprived you of your God-given right to be ruled by the president you had yourself elected. These soldier politicians introduced into our body politic a concept hitherto unknown to our political lexicography, something strangely called the annulment of an election, perceived by all to have been the fairest, cleanest and most peaceful ever held in our nation. Since that abominable act of naked political armed robbery occurred, I have been constantly urged by people of goodwill, both in Nigeria and abroad, to put the matter back into the people's hands and get them to actualize the mandate they gave me at the polls. But mindful of the need to ensure that peace continues to reign in our fragile federation, I have so far tried to pursue sweet reason and negotiation. My hope has always been to arouse whatever remnants of patriotism are left in the heart of these thieves of your mandate, and to persuade them that they should not allow their personal desire to rule to usher our beloved country into an era of political instability and economic ruin. All I have sought to do in seeking dialogue with them has been to try and get them to realize that only real democracy can move our nation forward towards progress and in her the respect she deserves from the international community. However, although this peaceful approach has exposed me to severe censure by some who have mistaken it for weakness on my path, those with whom I have sought to dialogue have remained like stones, neither stirred to show loyalty to the collective decision of the people of their own country, nor to observe Allah's injunction that they should exhibit justice and fair play in all their dealings with their fellow men. Appeals to their honor as officers and gentlemen of the gallant Nigerian armed forces have fallen on deaf ears. Instead, they have resorted to the tactics of divide and rule, bribery and political perfidy, misinformation and vile propaganda. They arrest everyone who disagrees with them. Even the 71-year-old hero of our nation, Chief Anthony Inahoro, was never spared. How much longer can we tolerate all this? People of Nigeria, you are all witnesses that I have tried to climb the highest mountain, cross the deepest river, and walk the longest mile in order to get these men to obey the will of our people. There is no humiliation I have not endured, no snare that has not been put in my path, no setup that has not been designed for me in my endeavor to use the path of peace to enforce the mandate that you bestowed on me 1 year ago. It has been a long night, but the dawn is here. Today, people of Nigeria, I enjoin you all in saying, enough is enough. We have endured 24 years of military rule in our 34 years of independence. The permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council that should be rightfully ours is all but lost. For who will vote for Nigeria to get the seat if Nigerian military rulers do not respect the votes of their own people? Enough of military rule. We are seeking to see people who have shown little or no personal achievement either in building of private businesses or making sources of any tangible thing being placed in charge of the management of our nation's economy by rulers who are not accountable to anyone. Enough of square pegs in round holes. We are tired of the military repetitive tendency to experiment with our economy. Enough is enough of economic mismanagement. People of Nigeria, during the election campaigns last year, I presented you with a program entitled Hope 93. This program was aimed precisely at solving these economic problems that have demoralized us all. I told every part of Nigeria to present this program to you, the electorate, because you knew I would not only listen to you but deliver superb results from the program. You voted for me in your millions and gave me an overwhelming majority over my opponent. I am sure when you cast your eye on the moribund state of Nigeria today, you ask yourself, what have we done to deserve this? When we have a president-elect who can lead a government that can change things for the better, our patience has come to an end. From this moment, a new government of national unity is in power throughout the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, led by me, Bashorun MKO Abiola, as President and Commander-in-Chief. The National Assembly is hereby reconvened. All dismissed governors are reinstated. The state assemblies are reconstituted, as are all local government councils. I urge them to adopt a bipartisan approach to all the issues that come before them. At the national level, a bipartisan approach would be our guiding principle. I call upon the usurper, General Sani Abacha, to announce his resignation forthwith, together with the rest of his illegal ruling council. We are prepared to enter into negotiations with them to work out the mechanics for a smooth transfer of power. I pledge that if they hand over quietly, they will be retired with all their entitlements, and their positions will be accorded all the respect due to them. For our objective is neither recrimination nor witch hunting, but an enforcement of the will of the Nigerian people as expressed in free elections conducted by the duly constituted authority of the time. I hereby invoke the mandate bestowed upon me by my victory in the said elections, to call on all members of the armed forces and the police, the civil and public services throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria to obey only the government of national unity that is headed by me, your only elected president. My government of national unity is the only legitimate, constituted authority in the Federal Republic of Nigeria as of now. People of Nigeria, these are challenging times in the history of our continent, Africa, and we in Nigeria must not allow ourselves to be left behind. People of Nigeria, our time is now. You are the repository of power in the land. No one can give you power. It is yours. Take it. From this day, show to the world that anyone who takes the people of Nigeria for fools is deceiving himself and will have the people to answer to. God bless you all. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live the government of national unity. That was a speech delivered at Epetedo area of Lagos Island, dubbed Enough is Enough. While many believe that Abiola should have told a different path and used a different approach, others believe that he was on track. So what is your thought on this? Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to book the like button on this video. And if you like to see more of our informative content, please subscribe and ring the bell notification so you don't miss any updates. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.